name is Jenna, and this is where I share all of my crafty makings and adventures. I enjoy knitting, crochet, cross-stitching, quilting, sewing, a whole bunch of other things that may cross my path. So if you're new here, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. So sorry. And if you're returning, welcome back. I hope everyone had a good March and is enjoying the beginning of spring. I personally am super excited for the springtime and for the eclipse. This coming Monday on April 8th, I live in New York City. So while we're not getting complete totality here, we are getting at least like 89 to 90%. So I'm super excited. In terms of like other life update, I think that's about it. I'm doing much better since my last video. I've joined a pet loss support group, so I've been doing well there. My mom has been doing really well. Things have been going, other than my mood kind of just fluctuating. Things have been really, really great. I am looking forward to going to Stitch North towards the end of April. So if you are also going to Stitch North, let me know. I am going in the second weekend this year, and I am super, super excited. I think that's about it. I guess I could also show you guys maybe a tattoo update. This tattoo is really hard to show. I'm just realizing that. So, and the cherry blossoms over here in New York City are almost in full bloom. So I actually did go outside with my boyfriend this morning and afternoon to go and look at some. So I'm really, really excited. But yep, that's my baby on there. Reminds me of her every day. So I'm really excited. I do have to go and get it touched up. Did I have the tattoo in my last video? I can't remember. So if I just rambled about it, if you didn't watch my last video, my cat had recently passed in February. She was my baby of 14 years, and it was a really, really hard loss for me. I actually think I did mention this, but I might not have gotten the tattoo. So I did get a tattoo as a remembrance piece, I guess, memorial piece for her. And so it just reminds me of her every day, which is really, really nice. And I got inside cherry blossoms, which are my favorite tree slash flower, I guess. I don't know if it counts as a flower. Anywho, I think I will start with my knitting, which is only just a finish. So I did finish another pair of socks. Just using the basic rib sock pattern by Kate Atherley that you can find on Ravelry. And that's about it. This was made with some Patons Croix that you can get at Michael's. I think the colorway for this part is turquoise stripes, so it's self-striping. And then the little, oh my god, I'm so tongue-tied today, I'm sorry. The toe and the heel are in charcoal, same for Patons Croix. And they make a really durable sock. They're good for my boyfriend because he tends to wear his socks often and wears them through, which is good. He gets good use out of them. So this yarn is thick enough that it really does sustain like good wear and tear. It's super wash. It's easy for him to take care of by himself. I don't have to wash them separately, and he doesn't have to worry about all of that. So more socks for him, which I'm really, really excited about. Oh, speaking of socks and striping, sorry, I did also finally order my first yarn advent calendar, and I am so excited. So I ordered from Bumblebee Acres, which is a really great family-owned yarn dyeing business, and they are fantastic. If you're not following them, they do have an Instagram. You can follow them on YouTube as well. They tend to do a lot of colorways that are inspired by TV shows, movies, books, and so that's really, really awesome. So I did get my first yarn advent, so I am like so stoked for December. I also got at a craft shop one of those little, this was around like holiday time, so the stuff was all discounted. So I got this little cute advent calendar that has like little drawers. I should have brought it to show, but I'm super excited about that. I'm just excited in general. I'm so excited to get the minis. I also ordered the additional complimentary, not complimentary as in it was free, but it goes with the set of a full regular skein. So I'm super stoked. And I think me and some of my knitting friends are also going to wind up some of our sock scraps and make little 10-gram mini balls and wrap them in like tissue paper and do like a friend exchange of minis, either at our knitting club that I go to on Tuesdays at the library or just amongst ourselves. It's interesting because me and my knitting friends were talking about how like we met each other at the knitting club, and even though we really enjoy going to the knitting club, that like now we're starting to hang out away from the club, which is fine. But it's like we're just enjoying each other's company more than sometimes coming to the knitting club, and there's just like a lot of random people that come by. But there's a good balance. There's a good balance. We're doing both. We've been going on yarn store outings. I am really excited that I might be able to do the Brooklyn yarn crawl this year. I always miss it for whatever reason. I think it's the day after me and my boyfriend's anniversary, which will be just perfect, and I won't be in Stitch North. I think I was in Stitch North last year. And then maybe during the summer, I might do the NYC yarn crawl, which is really, really awesome. There are so many yarn shops that I never visited or even knew they were there. So for example, me and my boyfriend went to Roosevelt Island earlier today to go and check out the cherry blossoms because they're like, some of them are in peak bloom right now, and it was really beautiful to see them. And then we took the little gondola, little tramway into Manhattan, and it was still kind of early, and I was like, I wonder if there's like a yarn shop around here. And he checked, and there was. I had never heard of this yarn shop. We ended up not going because I had in my mind exactly what I wanted to buy, and I didn't know if they would have it in stock. So it's fine. I'll put it on my radar for next time. But I definitely am like so surprised when there's like stores that I never knew about. But I'm also not surprised because I'm like a bad New Yorker. I just don't know about these things. Okay, sorry for my big ramble. That was it for my knitting. Next thing I want to show you, maybe I'll go into a little bit of my quilting because it's right here on my lap. So I have been making a Minecraft themed quilt, and the pattern maker is Kelly Fanning Quilt Designs. You can find her website if you just Google it. You can find her Instagram. Unfortunately, she has passed away. Her cancer came back sometime last year or the year before, and she ended up passing, and it's been really, really sad in that like I just didn't know, and I really appreciate her designs. But I am making her Minecraft quilt that is still available on her website. And I think I finally got the hang of a scant 1/4 inch seam, so I'm really excited. So some of my blocks I might have to remake if they're too small. So this is the grass block. I also know nothing about Minecraft. This is something that I'm making for my boyfriend. I'm kind of getting proud of myself. I'm finding I'm less nervous when cutting. I'm just so mathematically challenged that in my past blocks I have wasted so much fabric because either I just read the numbers wrong or just something happens with the cutting, but I'm getting more confident, and that makes me feel really, really good. So this is the grass block, which is so cute. I love this one. And then I also finished, this one is like one of my favorites. I did a potion bottle, which is so, so cute. And I did have a good time shopping for some of these fabrics. I did buy like a bulk set on Amazon maybe now like a year or two, I can't even say months, of just random pieces of fabric to get this started since it's so patchwork and it needs small pieces. But for some parts like this darker maroon, I didn't have it in that stack, so I had to go to the quilting store, and it's been fun. And I also have another quilt coming on the horizon, but I haven't started it yet, so I'll share that with you guys when I've started it. So that's my potion bottle, and I'm gonna show one more because I'm just not sure if this one was part of, you know what, I think I did show this one before, but maybe I'll show it because I'm not quite sure if I did show it before. And this was the blaze. I think I might have had the pieces cut for this, but not sewn. I just don't know if I showed it, but I love it. So even though I don't know what all of these things are, I do enjoy how they're all coming out. They're really, really fun. Especially like these two together, I really like. And I've been thinking of like sashing them and piecing them together as I go, but I think I'm gonna leave it up to my boyfriend in the end. Like, where does he want to place all of these, and not leave it up to me, even though that would make my life a lot easier to start piecing them together as I went. It's going to be a massive blanket because I'm also adding his name on the side. I am using my new video editing software, so if I'm able to put a picture of what I kind of want it to look like at the end on the side, I will. But it'll have, I think we're doing something like 30 of the squares. It's going to be massive. 30 of these squares, and then along the side of it will be his name also in quilted Minecraft blocks, which I'm super duper looking forward to. Okay, so that is my Minecraft quilt. And I think now I just have cross stitching left. Yep, just cross stitching left. So I will start with a new start. So in light of getting memorial tattoos for my cat, I also decided, since I had one for my ginger cat that passed like 3 years ago now, it's just been a very sad few months and weeks because their two passing dates are now really close to each other. I decided to make a tribute, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for, tribute piece to her. And so this is Watercolor Cat. I randomly found these patterns while browsing. I think it was a Facebook cross-stitching group. And this is by Anna Banini, sorry. Banani. And her Etsy shop is Banani Stitchery on Etsy. And she's been making these beautiful, beautiful kind of watercolor style patterns of different breeds of cats and even dogs. So this is just perfect. And I think like somewhere on the side or somewhere on the bottom, I'll put my cat's name and her rising and passing date on there. So I'm really excited. So that's been my new start, and I'm working this on. I also finally got myself some of these cards. I saw them at Stitch North and they were super helpful. So I have to remember to bring some with me now that I'm seeing them to give to friends with my YouTube and Instagram name on it. But then on the back, an easy way to keep track of my projects. So this is Watercolor Cat, and I'm working this on a piece of 14 count color and cotton in the colorway Cotton Candy. And I'm just doing, I think 2/1 with called for DMCs. I don't have a huge start. I do want to get some more time on this. But I'm loving the fabric. I think the white glow, or like the yellowish glow around the cat is done in half stitches, and I think it'll look really, really good on this. So I am using Pattern Keeper for this as well. Which, now that I'm saying all these things out loud, I really have to make myself a packing list for Stitch North. I forget which retreat, or I went on a stitchy day with my friends and then I didn't bring my tablet, so like certain projects I couldn't work on, which is a real bummer. So I have to remember to pack my tablet for that. So that was my new start. Then I also, I always forget to bring the finished picture of this. Let me see if I could pull it up really quick. I'm looking for, it's a design from Herkschner's, I think. But it's a Alma Lynn Hayden pattern. And I am doing her, while I'm showing you guys update on the winter cottage. I might not have signal. I have to like I have to get one of those things that like extends the internet service in your home, because my apartment is a lot of brick walls, and so if I'm too far from my router, like I can't get service. So I'm also not going to be able to show you guys the books that I've read, but I can talk about them because actually I do have one of them that I could grab and show you. But okay, I got sidetracked there. So I won't be able to show you what this will look like when it's done, but this is my winter cottage. So I will now be switching to my spring one. But I got basically, am I just working on the back stitching there? Yeah, so basically the whole top half is done. So this is a piece of 14 count Ida that I dyed myself, and I'm working this 3/1, so 3 strands, and I finished the top half, and I just have to finish the back stitching and the French knots on that side. My French knots here came out kind of a little wonky, but I'm happy about them. It's okay. I'm not the best at French knots. So I'm really excited. When I come back around to this, I should be finishing up that corner and then moving on down. So really excited for that. And for some reason, I'm still keeping this in a Ziploc bag. I have so many project bags, and somehow some things still just end up in a Ziploc, which is fine. This one I haven't showed since I had a new start on it. And then I think that'll actually be it for this video. And I'll have more to update you guys in my next video. So this pattern that I'm working on, let me see, did I put one of those handy little cards in here? I did! It's so useful. They really, really are. They definitely help me with these videos as well. So I am working on a Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor. This is one of the first charts I ever bought when I got back into cross stitching, and it was one of the first charts I bought from a local needlework store first time I ever went to one. I definitely needed this. I think I got inspired to do this watching a Lindy Stitches video a long while ago. And I am working this on a piece of 32 count vintage smoky white Lugana, and I'm going 2/1. So 25 count, 2/1. Or am I really 2/1, or am I going 1/1? Oh no, scratch that. I had to fix that. I am going 1/1. And I have never done 1/1 like ever. So using one strand is very interesting for me. But look at this fabric, it's just massive. I don't think it'll take up the whole thing, but here's my progress, not my start, because it's not a new start anymore. So I really do love this. It is beautiful. So I'm really excited to hopefully come back to this soon-ish. I think this is going to be put onto my BAP wheel, so my big ass project wheel, though, which has been moving slow. I have to say, I think I've not lost it, but like my cross stitching bug has definitely gone down a little, and my knitting bug has risen again. So, which is like the typical kind of ups and downs that my crafting goes to. I do have ADHD, and so I can tend to hyperfixate on certain things, and so sometimes I am like all cross stitch all the time, and then sometimes I'm like, I switch and I'm like all knitting or crochet all the time, like never in between. That almost happened with my sewing. When I was working on those Minecraft squares, I would have kept sewing if I didn't get to a point where I needed to order more fabric, because the local shop by me didn't have the shade of red that I needed, and I needed like a dark one and a light one. I mean, it's coming now, but I put my machine away, and I mean, that was my dream of this space that I'm in, that the machine would always be accessible and I'd always have a cutting spot, but that is not what happened. Kind of turned into like a little mini closet, but it's okay. But yeah, that would have happened with sewing had I not needed to basically encounter like a roadblock that like told me, no, you can't sew anymore. So I guess that's what made me kind of pick up another sewing project as well. Because I'll also show you, so I'm going to Stitch North and I'm making like little table gifts, and I do like little Ort collector. So I made for everyone at my table like a little Ort or kind of like notions little thing that they could put out for them. I hope people enjoy them. This was like my first time ever making something like this, and I really did need kind of thicker interfacing in between, but I think they're still cute. I do have to get them all clipped up. I have a lot to prep for Stitch North, so I used up some scraps that I had around too. So I hope people will like them. I really tried my best. This was kind of not hard for me, but it was new for me to make something like this. And so I'm glad it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. So I'll grab one of my books and then we'll talk about reading. Okay, I'm back, but I know that was kind of like seamless for you guys. I read, and I know like I'm so behind with certain things, but again, this is another thing where I find I can get hyperfixated is with my reading as well. Because I know this book came out in like 2003 and it was a craze then, but I just never got into it. So I read and finished the first Aragon, which now my boyfriend's going to take a turn with it for a reread for himself. And he was right about it. It took me quite a bit in the beginning to like really get into the story and the characters and this author's style of writing. But can I say like when I got to like this much left is when I was like really into it. So I might start the second one sooner rather than later, but I did really, really enjoy this. It did take a while to like kind of get immersed into the world, I guess, if that makes any sense, which can happen with some fantasy books. And I think it also happens that you sometimes get out of the world, and that's why it's sometimes hard to continue the series, because like if you've fallen out of the fantasy world of that, it can be hard to get back in. And then I also read a Goosebumps books. I've been reading through Goosebumps books. They were something I loved in my childhood. Right now I'm also trying to get Animorphs. And I had a collection. I think they're at my dad's. I don't know if he still has them or he kind of got rid of them. I moved home from them from college, and I graduated college in 2011. So I don't think they're still there. So I finished the second Goosebumps book. I think it was called Stay Out of the Basement or Keep Out of the Basement. That one was a good like in between kind of, I call them like palate cleansers. These like really short like quote children's books that I read. I don't count Warriors as a children's book. Warriors is like full-fledged in my soul kind of book, and that's not a palate cleanser for me. But these little books, like I'm also reading through Beverly Cleary books right now. So I kind of use them in between, especially between heavy books, to kind of just give myself a little fun story before I dive into another kind of packed book. But I'm saying that and I read like 8 books at a time. But anywho, then I also did read, sorry I don't have a picture of it, I might try to post it here. Excuse me, because I am using my new software again. I read Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee, which is supposed to be a sequel to Kill a Mockingbird. I finished it. I am a completionist. I think I've only abandoned one book in my entire reading. I don't want to call it journey. I've always been a reader. I abandoned Alice in Wonderland. I really, really tried, and I hate that I abandoned it. Oh, that reminds me of a second book I abandoned. But I did abandon Alice in Wonderland. I just could not get immersed in the world, as sad as that sounds. I might give it a redemption and try it again. And another book I had abandoned was Atonement. So I do have a list of classic books that I'm trying to get through. I might give that one another chance. Those are two books in my whole reading, I guess, career or life of a reader that I've abandoned. Go Set a Watchman, I almost abandoned. There was just something strange about it. I just didn't feel... I really can't explain it. I did like To Kill a Mockingbird, but yeah, this book felt strange. Anywho, hopefully I'll have more reading to update you all with next time. And I think that is it. So I think my next update might either be before Stitch North or after Stitch North. So I'll definitely have a lot to tell you guys then. I am really, really excited. I am also going to the New Jersey stitching retreat this year as well. And I am also kind of interested in looking into knitting retreats. So if you are a knitter or crocheter and there are some retreats that you have really enjoyed where people aren't so pretentious and they're feeling really welcoming. I know cross stitching community has that, quilting community has that, but if you do have one that you really enjoy and would recommend, please leave a comment down below. I would really appreciate that. I really would like to go to a knitting retreat as well. And I think that's it. I had something else I was going to look for recommendations for. I have been slowly finding some knitting YouTubers that I really enjoy. I mean, it's so hard. I get really behind on YouTube and then I have a hard time getting back into it. So, and then I kind of binge watch a lot of YouTubers at one time. But I think I had another kind of question thing and I can't remember it right now, which is really, really bothering me. But I think that's it. And in terms of knitting retreats, I think me and my friends too are just thinking maybe we'll just like rent an Airbnb somewhere beautiful on a lake and just have a friend's crafting retreat, which is also really nice. That's actually a really nice thought. Anywho, I hope everyone had a great March and is having a great start to their April. Also, if you did celebrate Easter recently, happy Easter to you. I had a really, really beautiful Easter holiday. My church just did such an incredible, incredible Easter vigil. It was beautiful. I had a friend that got baptized for the first time. It was just really gorgeous. But if you celebrate a non-religious Easter, I hope you enjoyed your holiday as well. And I hope everyone continues to enjoy good weather wherever you are. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do subscribe. I would super duper appreciate it. And leave a like if you can. And I hope everyone continues to be happy and healthy and enjoys their stitching, whether it's knitting, crochet, cross stitching, embroidery, sewing, whatever puts stitches into things.